Hey 49er fans, before we start today's video, go ahead and subscribe. We are still trying to get to 33,000 subscribers here. We're at 32,798. Very close. So if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and go down below and click the big red subscribe button. All right, today's video, of course, brought to you guys by Manscaped. It's a Manscaped Monday. Of course, go to manscaped.com/49ers for 20% off your first order, plus free shipping. The link and all the description stuff will be down below in the description box. All right, let's go ahead and start with the Pats Plan A for Jimmy Garoppolo. Yes, there is a new article that has been coming out that is pushed via the Greg Bedard Patriot podcast, that's a mouthful, that essentially suggests the New England Patriots' Plan A for this offseason is to acquire Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, as we stand, of course, the 49ers have not made any sort of moves at quarterback, and they keep backing Jimmy Garoppolo as their starting quarterback, and yet rumors are suggesting that New England is still very much in on Garoppolo and will try by multiple means to go ahead and acquire the current 49ers quarterback. So, are they trying to make up for getting rid of Garoppolo 4 years ago? Or are they just trying to fill the hole at quarterback because Cam Newton's not going to come back? Who knows? But the Greg Bedard Patriots podcast is where we get all this information, and so we'll show it to you right now up on your screen. This is someone very connected, reportedly, to the New England Patriots. Quote, what I gather from talking to people this week, over the past week, Jimmy Garoppolo is still far and away their Plan A. It's New England. That, if they had to draw it up, exactly the optimal situation with Patriots coming season, it's Jimmy Garoppolo coming back here. And, of course, that all depends on the 49ers doing something. Fascinating stuff right now. And I think the real question is, would the Patriots try and trade for Jimmy Garoppolo? Or are they hoping that the 49ers trade for a different quarterback, Deshaun Watson, Sam Darnold, and Russell Wilson? Probably not, but, you know, get my point. And then hopefully cut Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Because we talked about this. The 49ers are in a spot where they like Garoppolo, and I think the only time that they would upgrade is for the right person at the right price, and that has not happened yet. Doesn't mean it will not happen yet, but as it currently stands, Garoppolo is going to continue to be the current 49ers quarterback. The Patriots, if they want to make something happen, have to go ahead and offer a decent enough overall trade compensation in order to kind of get the ball rolling on 49ers, not only getting rid of Garoppolo, but acquiring a different quarterback to fill his spot. Now, Mike Florio, today on his morning show, the Pro Football Talk morning show, was talking about this, and he said, I'll throw that up on the screen right now. Quote, I think they can get him simply by sitting and waiting. That's New England. You're not going to trade for a $25 million compensation package. Nobody's going to pay him that this year. So you sit and wait for Garoppolo to get cut, which, I mean, honestly, I guess makes sense, right? Cutting Jimmy Garoppolo makes the most sense for the San Francisco 49ers. I would bet, even though I have no reporting on this, that the 49ers have tried to at least pick up the phone and call the Patriots and ask if they would go ahead and trade for Garoppolo, because, again, trading away that contract would be very beneficial for San Francisco. But New England does understand and know that the best thing to do is just to sit and wait. Either you draft somebody with the 15th overall pick, like New England has, like you trade up and take somebody like a Mac Jones, or you hope the 49ers eventually trade for Deshaun Watson, or they draft a quarterback by trading up at number 12 and then cut Jimmy Garoppolo. Either way, Garoppolo will become a free agent, and the Patriots could sign him at a very team-friendly deal and make him the starter back where he was in New England. Now, as we know, the current 49er depth chart is very much bleak at the quarterback spot. If they were to cut Jimmy Garoppolo, it'd be very clearly because they have somebody in mind, right? Josh Rosen is not going to be the starter week one, barring injury, right? He's a backup quarterback for a reason. So they've got to go out and figure out a way to go ahead and replace Garoppolo if they want to go ahead and cut him. And my guess is they would sign somebody or trade for somebody or draft somebody first and then let go of Jimmy Garoppolo, because, you know, we're not going to have to wait on the Patriots. We're not on the Patriots time frame. We're on the 49ers time frame, and that overall is very important to understand. Now, before we keep going, there'll be a pinned comment down below. Where will Jimmy Garoppolo play in 2021? What do you guys think? Type 4 down below for us, the 49ers. Type P down below for the Patriots. Type O down below for other. I want to see what you guys think. Let me know down below right now in the comment section. All right, let's move on here to Mac Jones and the mock draft, right? So ESPN's Todd McShay has released another mock draft. And again, we talk mock drafts a lot here, but I really enjoy looking at what some experts out there, and I consider Todd McShay and Mel Kiper and the rest of them to be experts. They know what they're talking about, but sometimes they make draft picks that are very, let's just say, interesting overall. So this new, let's call it ESPN Todd McShay mock draft, has the 49ers not only drafting Mac Jones, but they have to trade up with the Denver Broncos to number 9 overall to go ahead and do that. So you trade up and you say, okay, what quarterback are you going to get? And Todd McShay says Mac Jones. And you go, ooh, Mac Jones at 9. How do we feel about that? I mean, he played well in one season as a starter at Alabama. We all watched the national championship game. I mean, the guy's an absolute beast, but is it the right move for the 49ers? Well, Todd McShay thinks so. So here was what Todd McShay said on his mocking Mac Jones to the 49ers. Quote, 5 quarterbacks in the opening 9 picks would beat the previous record of 5 in the first 12. Jones doesn't have the rushing ability of any of the other 4 quarterbacks, but he processes quickly, has excellent ball placement on short to intermediate throws, and shows the ability to anticipate. He'd mesh nicely with the Niners' quick game and could bring more balance to an offense that has run on the 6th highest percentage of plays in the NFL since Coach Kyle Shanahan took over in 2017. Now, that all sounds fine and dandy. The question all 49er fans must then ask themselves is Mac Jones an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't know. And that's simply the question you ask yourself. Do you think that the offense would be better with Mac Jones, or would it be maybe slightly better, but very, very similar to what it is with Jimmy Garoppolo? That's the question you have to ask yourself. If you think Mac Jones is the next, reincarnation of Tom Brady, then you obviously do this, and you put Mac Jones in there, and you let go of Jimmy Garoppolo, as we talked about, and everyone's happy. However, if you don't think he's that much of an upgrade, then this makes no sense. Don't waste draft picks, because trading up to number 9 overall is going to cost you not only number 12 this year, but probably a first-round draft pick next year, which is a high capital for someone that could potentially just be another iteration of Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, Jones, again, was absolutely fantastic last year. 13 games, the guy threw 41 touchdowns and 4 picks. He had a good offensive line. He had a really good running game. And he had a very good wide receiver, multiple wide receivers. So you can't just say, well, he's a great quarterback. I mean, you can say that about guys like Joe Burrow last year, who had really good pieces around him. But Mac Jones did have very good pieces around him. So you have to take that into consideration. But the question really becomes, do you think he's an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo? And that's for you to decide, because I don't think that he is, even though I do like him. If I was the Niners, I would gladly draft him later on in the first round, but he won't be there in the first round, hence why Todd McShay has the Niners having to trade up to go ahead and acquire him. Again, it would cost a lot going from number 9 or number 12 to number 9. It sounds like it's a short 3 picks. It's not. It's a lot in terms of overall NFL draft prospect and overall draft compensation. And so the Niners would be really careful and really sure that Mac Jones makes the most sense for them if they were to go ahead and do this trade and move up in the draft like Todd McShay has them mocked to go ahead and do. I mean, do you want the Niners to draft Mac Jones? Like, are you okay with the idea? I mean, I'm just curious with the thought process out there. Like, yes or no? Like, are you super excited about Mac Jones and you're like, yeah, they should draft him, or not? I'm very interested to see what people think about that. Before we keep going, of course, today's video is brought to you guys by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/49ers for 20% off your first order, plus free shipping. And there's a ton of great products. I encourage you guys to go to the Manscaped website, because they have a ton of different things you can go ahead and pick up. But the perfect package includes basically all their best hits, everything that you got going on here, including the Lawnmower 3.0 with the 8-hour battery. You can use it in the shower. It's got the light on it. It's absolutely fantastic. Use it for me on like a weekly basis, and it can pretty much work everywhere that you would potentially need it to. Comes with the boxers and the free travel bag as well, which I used just a couple of days ago, which is really great. And that comes with not only the toner, but the deodorant as well. It's all in the perfect package. And so whether you want to just pick up just the Lawnmower 3.0 or you want to get all of their greatest hits, do it with our friends at Manscaped. Manscaped.com/49ers, 20% off your first order plus free shipping. The link is down below right now in the description box. And so jump on that deal right now. All right, moving on to talking about Stephon Gilmore yet again, because apparently everyone thinks the 49ers should trade for Stephon Gilmore, and we've talked about this like 80 billion times here on the channel, but let's bring it up one more time. So FanSided, one of their writers said the Niners should look into trading for Stephon Gilmore, and of course, we understand how great he is, and the Patriot connection there, maybe with Jimmy Garoppolo, who knows, even though I doubt it, but it makes sense from a point that San Francisco is in need of another cornerback, because they're not going to go ahead and bring back Richard Sherman. Now, he sounds cheap at $7.34 million in the final year of his deal, but ESPN was reporting the asking price at the trade deadline last year was a first-round draft pick and a player, so that's probably come down a little bit, but that is a lot to go ahead and ask for a guy who is on the wrong side of 30, and, the Niners can just draft somebody at number 12, like Caleb Farley or Patrick Surtain, and be absolutely just fine. Before we keep going, again, this becomes true, or if any of the other rumors become true, we'll cover it here on the 49ers Report, so make sure you guys are subscribed down below for all the offseason news and rumors you could possibly hope for. We're trying to get, again, the 34,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys are subscribed down below. This is from Peter Panacey, is the Niner Noise article, the FanSided article, in terms of talking about Stephon Gilmore. Here's the quote. I'll throw it on your screen right now. At 30 years old, Gilmore might not quite be the player he once was early in his career, and last year's efforts showed him he might be slowing down a bit. That said, a transition to a more zone-based defense could do Gilmore some good, helping him rely on his instincts than sheer playmaking abilities at a more advanced age. And again, I'm not saying that Stephon Gilmore is bad. I would like him in San Francisco, but I think the odds of the Niners giving up big-time draft capital to acquire a 30-year-old cornerback when there are like 4 really good cornerbacks in this draft, to me, really doesn't make sense. They need to get somebody. They will get somebody. I expect them to re-sign Jason Verrett and K'Wan Williams. That's the hope right now for most 49er fans, but they need somebody opposite of a guy like Jason Verrett, and it's much easier, in my opinion, just to take a quarterback take a cornerback at number 12 instead of trading for a guy like Stephon Gilmore. But this keeps being brought up, and so obviously maybe it could become a reality here in the coming days and weeks. I expect Gilmore to probably be traded. Will be San Francisco? Not really sure. The real question is the price. Like, would you give up a first-round draft pick for Stephon Gilmore? Like, would you 100% give up number 12 overall for Stephon Gilmore? I wouldn't. If you would, type Y down below for yes. If not, type 2 down below for no. Okay, quickly here, let's wrap up the show by giving you some contract extensions that, to me, are some good news stuff. So they've extended tight end Ross Dwelley to a 1-year deal, and that's good news for the 49ers from a backup tight end perspective. Dwelley comes in as more of a blocking tight end, but can be, has some upside there at pass-catching tight end. And so bringing him back for another year on a cheap deal is good news. They have also extended Marcell Harris, the safety, who I doubt is going to start, but with the questions around just Jaquiski Tartt not coming back, maybe you want to go ahead and just have him there for depth or to have him be the starter based on things you saw in practice and training camp and on the special teams side of the football from Harris last year. Both of them are extended, though. Both of them are cheap, and both of them are going to have no real impact on the cap. What is good news for the 49ers is that they have gone from about $13 million back up to their original cap number where we thought that they would be, about $23 million in cap space based on some contract restructuring and some other moves and some cuts that they're expected to go ahead and make. So they are at $23 million in cap space on the plus side, which is good news overall. And so we expect them to, in the coming days and weeks, start signing people. Whether it's Trent Williams or not, who knows? Whether it's going to be Verrett or not, who knows? But they will be making moves, and we'll cover it here on the 49ers Report, which is why it's your one-stop shop and why you should go ahead and always be subscribed, as the link is just right below me, the little red subscribe button, because when things happen, we get you out here with my reaction and my take on them as quickly as we possibly can. Ultimately, for today here on the 49ers Report, again, wanted to jump on here and get to all the news on a Monday, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's fascinating and interesting, and we'll break it all down as we do, and so stay tuned for the latest videos as we come out in the next coming days and weeks. Ultimately, for today here on the 49ers Report, I am your host, Thomas Mott, as we go ahead and sign off. Stay safe out there for the rest of your day.